How's it going, guys? Welcome to the TwoPennyGames Piggy Bank, your favorite casual gaming podcast with my casual gaming buds. My name is Phil, I'm your host for this show that we record live on twitch.tv/2pennygames every Monday afternoon Central Time. Of course, if you can't catch us live over there, you can catch us over on youtube.com/@2pennygames every Saturday at 8 a.m. sharp on the dot. Of course, I'm not here by myself. I'm here with two of my best friends in the whole world, one of them being Mr. Connor Elliott.
For those of you that are in the know, the humans would win, not the gorilla. That's a stupid argument.
The 100. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know this one.
Phil, do you know it?
100 men versus one gorilla?
Yeah.
Easily 100 men.
Yeah. People underestimate the strength of
across
human
the
beings.
table from him, we have Mr. Tavin Bothel.
I mean,
Not
easily 100 men. Easily, I think
we'll unpack
the
men and gorilla.
right. Hello, hi, I'm here. I don't think easily 100 men. I think at least probably 30 of them are dying.
I think not that many, because you have to realize gorillas aren't predators. They don't kill things. Like, that's a normal thing. So, a polar bear
so much heavier than us.
They are, but I've also seen them run from a goose once before. So, I don't know if it's going to know how to react to 100 things beating down on it when they're not used to that.
Now you're talking 100 men are just ambushing a gorilla. You know, what are the circumstances? To me, it means one gorilla, 100 men. Both teams know they need to fight to the death.
Yeah, you're right. That's stupid. Point is though, they don't have the predator mindset. If this is a polar bear, then it's killing people. Those things are bigger too. But a gorilla,
I think a gorilla stands a better. Polar bear.
Polar bears are big.
I think
gorillas are big.
Even big. Gorillas aren't that big comparatively.
I think 100 men dogpile a fucking gorilla, it's gonna be dead. You know?
Yeah, gouging its eyes out, tearing off its limbs. The strength. That's a strength of a lot of people. That's greater than the strength of
no. Don't get me wrong. The gorilla's losing.
Yeah,
easily. Not easily, but the gorilla's losing. But I think easily a third of those men are going down.
I would put that at the high estimate. Yeah, I just think it would play out once you have 100 people, how much is he going to be able to fight back when he's just pinned down?
I don't understand how there's another side to this argument.
Because
do people not realize how many 100 people are? 100 people is a lot.
That's a lot.
Okay, I hate the it's a lot argument, because that directly goes with the every single Pokemon versus a billion lions. I don't know if you've heard this.
I have.
And people's argument is always a billion's a lot of lions.
A billion's a lot, but Pokemon have superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
one Pokemon
That's like
can
saying
do a tidal wave and wash them away. Consistently.
That's like pitting the globe against the Justice League.
How many Pokemon are there?
Bill?
3?
Over 1,000.
Fuck! That's
all
way
with
more.
powers.
Yeah, no, a billion lions ain't standing a chance.
Rayquaza?
I thought it was 300.
How are they going to beat Rayquaza alone? It flies.
Oh yeah,
What's a
lions
lion?
not there. Yeah, there's a bunch of flyers.
Yeah,
lions
tons
aren't
of
doing
them.
shit to a fucking flyer.
Yeah, it's stupid. Dumb argument.
Fucking just carpet bomb.
There's Pokemon that can control time and space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You're losing.
There's
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
There's
That's a ridiculous argument. But if we're talking 100 just normal human beings versus one normal gorilla, the gorilla's gonna kill some people.
Oh, it'll kill people,
Yeah.
no doubt.
No, some of the Pokemon aren't gonna make it.
No, yeah. I mean, you think Squirtle's going to live? He's going to die. Squirtle's going to die.
Fucking
A lot of the smaller
he's outta here. He's
Pokemon.
fucking lunch.
A lot of the smaller Pokemon, none of them are going down without at least taking one lion out. You know?
That's
I
true.
don't know about that one.
Like Pikachu, you mentioned him.
Who's the fish?
Magikarp.
Magikarp is a snack.
It is.
Who's the little fucker who hangs out with Team Rocket?
Meowth.
Meowth is done.
Hey, throws coins at him. Well, no, it's dead.
Mouth is done.
Pikachu would kill a lot, though.
Just
I think
pelting the lions with
Pikachu's
chain.
taking out a couple. For
Lightning.
Just pelting the lions with change.
Yeah, it's
Throwing
not gonna do
change at
much.
the lions.
Literally.
Yeah.
No. There's definitely a lot of Pokemon that are going down just real quick, right?
Yeah.
But it's the rest
I think
of them.
I think the average is maybe not all Pokemon will go down with without taking a lion, but the average will still be at least one. The average is more than one lion per Pokemon dead.
That's because there's 100 Pokemon who will literally take out 1,000 lions by themselves. Like,
Exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
there's a couple Pokemon that'll take out millions by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? What are you yelling at her for? Yeah, the blanket has holes in it. Oh yeah. She's been ripping up.
Not going for that.
Connor had to go discipline Tavin's dog. Had to go give her a little punch in the face real quick.
Oh yeah. And then she never did it again. Like Tavin can't even react like slightly without being like, ooh,
I slept on my neck wrong. Now it's got a crick.
That does suck.
Angle here. I'll switch back to the one. Got a little heating pad on. It's not really doing much. I'll be honest. It kind of sucks. I'm thinking about just taking it off.
You should have got some Tiger Balm. Hold that thought.
No, I'm kidding.
See, this is the podcast in which we promote community. Like,
Yeah.
video games are a community. They're a communal experience.
Are they?
For example,
Get a goddamn
how often do you
haircut.
talk with people
Dude, it is. I was just telling him, like, it's getting bad. Like, and it's been bad, but it's really bad.
Get a goddamn
Your hair.
haircut.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't hear him. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I don't know why. Because you stood up and then sat back down. I don't know what you're doing right
I
now.
was going to get some Tiger Balm, but I deflated
For what?
myself. For your neck.
Oh.
Communal. But no, I'm
It's
not
like
gonna do
icy
it.
hot, but on crack.
Yes, it feels great. Can I get them?
Thing's not doing shit. Spent like $16 to get this little pack of things, and it doesn't do nothing. And it said on the pack, it said it may take like 30 minutes to heat up, and it did heat up, but it's just not doing enough.
Damn, just
I'm
throwing
touching
away
it.
your money.
Touching it now with my hand, and it is warm, but it's not. It's like a hot towel, but after like it's been on you already for a few minutes.
Mm.
No,
So
that's
not
the
a
level
hot
of
towel.
warm. Like a mildly
A tepid towel.
Tepid towel.
God, just throwing your money away though, huh?
Bill, why are we here?
Well, Connor isn't back yet, but this, of course, is our casual gaming podcast where we come together every week to discuss our casual gaming topics, whether that be games that we look forward to coming out in the coming weeks, what we've been playing. We play mini games. Sometimes we just have discussion topics, like for example, what we're doing. Did you just eat the Tiger Balm?
No, he didn't bring me Tiger
I
Balm.
thought I had some, but
he brought me Advil.
I had some before.
Okay,
I did. I swear.
Which was
Dude.
my reaction. That was why I looked at the camera like, "What the
That
fuck
was-
are we doing?"
That
I got your hopes
okay. That threw me off so hard because as soon as I saw him go, my gut instinct was like, Tavin, no, like don't do, like. But I was speechless. I was taken aback. Like I was
my
like,
God.
Tavin, don't do that. Like
Tavin's not that crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I thought I had some.
I just thought Connor didn't explain what we were supposed to do with it, and like I was like, no.
No, you eat it like wax.
No, I know what icy hot
Okay,
is. So you said it was
okay.
icy hot. I'm like,
Oh.
cool.
God, that threw my brain out of whack. I was really worried.
Burns.
Anyway, yeah, today we're going to be discussing our dream fan roster for PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2. That's going to be our big discussion topic. But before we get into that, have we been playing anything interesting?
Oh, guys, we got to talk about what we've been playing this week. We actually have something to talk about this week.
Been very boring.
I don't, other than just more Breath of the Wild. So
Connor and I do.
Oh yes,
For sure we do. You want to go first? I want to go first?
I'll go first since
you go first.
I want to hold more of my words for later, when I get more entrenched in it. But of course, I've been playing Oblivion Remastered. So I never mentioned it on this podcast before, but that's probably the most important game in my entire gaming catalog.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the reason why, it wasn't my first game, but it was the first time I wanted to go to great lengths just to play a video game. And I had never been obsessed with a video game up until that point. I had liked video games. I had played them a lot, but I never had a Xbox 360 for when it came out. I had a PS2, I had a GameCube, a Game Boy Advance. Oblivion clearly was not on those. And I had just seen clips from it, I think on YouTube. I don't know where else I would have seen it. And I just became enamored with it. And I really, really wanted to play it because it seemed like such a new experience. And it turned out it would be. You know, a massive open world where basically anything seemed possible. And so I urged my parents my grandmother actually, to buy it for PC because we had a computer. And I thought, I'll be able to play it now. No. Our computers
That shit
always
did not work.
It did not work at all, and I was more disappointed then than at any point up until then in my entire life because I had just been wanting to play this goddamn game, and I, made it my mission to Christmas rolls around, Xbox 360. I'm gonna get this thing just so I can play Oblivion. I did it. I got it on Christmas, and I played it all day. And I played it all day the next day, and it was just my addiction. And from that point forward, I wanted more. Funny enough, the next game I really, really wanted was Fallout 3, not knowing that it was made by the same people. But there was no game at that point in time I spent more time with and became more intimate with than Oblivion. And so my surprise at it getting, I guess not really surprise, since it was very obviously getting dropped, there was that Xbox AI assistant where if people would ask it, hey, is Oblivion Remastered coming out? And they'd say, yes, it's coming out on April 22nd.
Oh, wow,
and
really? That length? I didn't know that much.
Yeah, it came out on the day it was saying it was coming out. And so I've been jumping into that, and I was racking my brain because we had a little bit of a discussion here about whether it constitutes a remake or a remaster, because they call it a remaster, but when you look at it, you can't help but think this is a remake. Now that I had time on, more hands-on time with the game, it is a remaster, but it's as far away from a remaster as you can be while still being a remaster, and as close to a remake as you can be with still not being a remake. Yeah.
Some might call it a partial remake.
Yeah, some people might.
Sure, yeah. To me, from the outside looking in, this looks like what they did to Mass Effect 1, where they updated. This one's even a little bit more because they put it in Unreal Engine 5.
Yes,
which is why it looks so beautiful. But it's pretty much it's pretty much putting the engine in the same engine in a new car body. Is it really a new car if it's the same engine, right? And to me, that's what this looks like. To the point of there's a thing you can do in the early hours where if you just jump jump into a corner, you'll start gaining experience. And I'm like, well, that's not one of those bugs is a feature type bugs. That's just a bug, and it's still there from the original.
Not necessarily even a bug, because the whole thing is if you jump, you increase your acrobatic score, and you can farm that incredibly easy and level up super, super quick just by putting yourself in certain scenarios in which you're just constantly jumping.
Right.
So it's not even really that it's a hack. It's more just the game itself has a lot of ways you can game it, which is one of the reasons why you can clearly tell it's not built from the ground up. It has a nice fresh coat of paint on it.
Really nice. One of the nicest coats of paint I've ever seen.
Definitively one of the nicest. Combat feels nicer, but it's still, you feel that it's Oblivion combat. You're just flailing your weapon around. It might feel more weighty and have more impact to it, but at the end of the day, you're just flailing a sword around.
I look at it and it looks like Oblivion gameplay to me.
Exactly. Yeah, and it has the same voice acting. They've done some cool things with it because for example, there's a famous line where when they were recording, this woman was recording her lines, she messed up on the script and said, "Oh wait, let me do that again." And then she repeats
take that again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in the remaster, they do funny things like they have her model look down as if she's looking at a piece of paper.
Awesome.
And let me do that again. And then continues on with her line. So they understand they're working based off of the old game, but they just do little tweaks like that to make it all the more better.
That's the level of we messed up, but now it's a fan thing,
yes.
so we're gonna reference it and make it cool. That's the really cool shit that they're doing.
And that kind of stuff, including how you can game the system, would be objectively a less fun game. Because honestly, the interesting thing about Oblivion, and the remasters only kind of confirmed it, bugs in games can be very good and make the quality of an experience way better. Like, for example, this isn't exactly an example because there's just so many it's like a lot of people nowadays. I especially saw it with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Will have you decapitate an enemy and they get up like they're still alive. And the people who bring those as an example are like, this fucking sucks. This is boring. This is bad game design.
I think that's funny as fuck.
It's funny. And Oblivion enforces that by just having shit like that happen. You have a conversation with somebody and they'll say, "Good day," and they'll walk into water.
So why didn't that work for Starfield?
Starfield was just I never had a problem with that with Starfield. It was just boring. Okay. I have no doubt people were complaining about those things. But
it happened.
Yeah, it did.
That same level of stuff would happen, but they just were less forgiving about it. And I remember when Skyrim came out, and every time you killed a bear and it ragdolled and clipped through the earth and became a weapon, and killed you, that would be seen as hilarious. But
Yes.
I guess the audience just isn't ready for that, and because that this is a old game brought back, that they're just being accepting. They're accepting of it because that's what Oblivion is to them.
Yes.
But like, I guess you just can't do that anymore. Like with a new game.
Maybe this will change it because it's
I don't
so
think so.
funny. I mean, there's a whole, like, I agree, most likely not, but it's gotten a lot of people playing this game, and
Yeah.
a lot of people online are talking about it, and they bring up videos like that, and they're enjoying it. It's not a point of criticism like it is with other games. I hope it extends past Oblivion, but you're right, most likely it won't. Who knows? Fingers crossed. They did change some things. Like, for example, when you upgrade your acrobatics up to I think the max level, you have access to a dodge function. They changed the level up system to where I'm not going to compare it to the old one because it's. I know it's different. I can't compare one-to-one why it's different. Only that they changed stuff around. But
Added sprint.
Added sprint, which is very, very fun. I've seen some funny videos where they get acrobatics up very, very high, and then since they're able to sprint, they're moving even quicker than they did in the original game.
Shit.
Yeah, it's so fucking funny. I'm like I said, I'm still in the base area because I was sinking back into those old days where I come out of the sewers and I just go to the closest thing nearby and explore it. You know, I've gotten into that mindset, only breaking it until recently, last night, when I was like, okay, I'm going to go and actually experience the world of Oblivion. I will just say, before I wrap this up, there is one change I really, really don't like, which is that you have fast travel access to all of the areas in the game, the main, like the cities and whatnot, whereas in the original Oblivion, you had to walk there. You couldn't just immediately teleport. Maybe my mind is forgetting that, but I vividly
That's
remember...
how it works in Skyrim.
Skyrim,
Yeah.
well, that one you have to go to the first... Wait, Skyrim, you do have to go there first.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
have to.
yeah.
You. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can just go to a stable and then you can pick to, hey, take me here.
Yeah, you can, but then you have to pay money for that. It's not like... It's a way to circumvent going over land, but in Oblivion, you had to go to the place in question. Like, unless I'm... Again, maybe I'm forgetting because
So I'm sorry. Are you saying there was no fast travel back in the day?
there was fast travel. It's just you didn't have access to the main cities if... you had to have gone there first to gain access
Okay,
to
and
travel to them.
now main cities you can just go.
Yeah,
you can
just go
click
right
the
there.
map on the map. Yeah, that's lame.
Yeah, it's
I don't like
takes
that.
away some of the, I get what they were trying to do in the sense of like streamline going to the main areas, but part of the enjoyment is going out in the world and
Getting
finding things as you go.
sidetracked
Yeah.
is the thing with all of those classic Bethesda games. Fallout, Elder Scrolls, like the destination is not where the fun is. The fun is all of the crazy stuff you got into on the way. Hey, I got attacked by this bandit, and then he had a note that he was hired by the Dark Brotherhood to assassinate me. So now I'm starting this Dark Brotherhood quest. Or in Fallout, hey, I went here and then got attacked by Deathclaw, and that forced me to like run away in a different direction. Now I'm in this other town doing this other quest for these other like that like the narrative that you create as a player.
It's your experience.
Is your experience and what makes those games so fun and enjoyable. Like, and so to just kind of, I mean, like, there's still a bunch of stuff like on the outskirts of towns and stuff, so it doesn't 100% go away. But to let the player do that, and modern players will do that, takes away from that experience that was the purpose of those games.
Exactly. And you mentioned modern gamers. I just don't do it, of course, but I just don't like that function's there for people to use.
But you know, there's a kid who's like, on fast travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
You know. That's so weird because in most games you don't unlock fast travel until you get there anyway.
I know. It was a very weird decision. But, I mean, like you said, it's the best coat of paint that any game has gotten as far as a remaster goes, bar none. Because it feels like a different... It feels like they took what I knew from my old days playing Oblivion, but gave it a fresh spin. If I was playing the original Oblivion, which I did go back to, I didn't have as much fun then as I'm having with this one now. And it really goes to show you what you can do with a remaster, without needing to necessarily remake a game from the ground up.
Right.
And make tons of money off of it. This is Bethesda's, like, it's probably going to be one of Bethesda's best-selling games, like, in recent years.
Oh yeah, I think
And
this
just-
outsells Starfield.
Yeah. It's nostalgia plus new players that hadn't played it before. Yeah.
Also only $50.
Only $50.
That too. Yeah.
Free on Game Pass, Play it.
There's a lot. Speaking of which,
I saw. Sorry, before we get into what you've been playing, Tavin. So I saw a really funny TikTok about Oblivion Remaster, and it was someone running away. They're being attacked by like 5 or 6 like different like mountain lions, and they look to their companion and they're like, let's see if we can't find those pesky bobcats or mountain lions or something like that.
Yes,
Let's see if we can't find those pesky mountain lions. Yeah, they're literally like there's one pouncing right behind him. He's like, let's see if we can't find those.
There's another really funny one where going back to the sprinting mechanic, and you can level up your acrobatics, take drugs, skooma, I think, to run super fast. And he interacts with the guard, and they're like, "Then pay with your blood." Before he finishes that sentence, he's darting off, running out of the city across the water, just at Mach speed.
Running across water.
You can do like your water walking potions.
Yeah.
So he just like
okay.
sprinting.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest fucking video I've seen in a long while.
They've just created new ways to break the game in the ways that like it's fun to break those games.
And you could already do that in the old game.
Yeah,
The sprint makes it even funnier.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Great.
Cyrodiil Jesus.
So
You
Connor,
are, yes.
Connor, I've never played Oblivion. And when this got fully unveiled and announced, man, I wanted to jump in and play it. But there was another RPG that was coming out this week, also with an Xbox focus, which was a strange move on their part, but you know, it is what it is. Also on Game Pass, but I'm playing it on PlayStation, also $50, and definitely worth those $50. So I've been playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This is from Sandfall Interactive, which is a newer studio. They've got some game dev veterans and legends on their team, but this is their first like big game. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if it's not on your radar, put it on your fucking radar. This is going to be in that game of the year conversation. I'm still very early in it. Only I want to say around the 5-hour mark, but it might be even a little less than that, but somewhere around there for sure. And this game has me ripped. Like, I am obsessed with this. I can't wait to get back to it. It makes playing Breath of the Wild for our monthly video game book club show even more annoying for me because I just want to play this game now. Shouldn't have touched it. I should have waited till I was done with Breath of the Wild, but it is what it is. So I've got to put it on hold for a little while. But this game is phenomenal. It is really, really damn good. I can tell already, even with how early I'm into the game, this is going to be one of my favorite turn-based combat systems ever, if not my favorite, bar none, you know? It is just so much fun to play. There is so much you can say about Clair Obscur. It's beautiful. It plays fantastically. The writing is very good. The character writing specifically is so, so good. Every single character seems really flushed out and is interesting and has unique perspectives. And I just want to see all of these characters interact with each other. I do have one small criticism. It's really my only criticism I've had so far, is that the character writing is fantastic. The plot writing could have used a little bit more expounding on, especially in these early hours. And what I mean by that, Connor, is what I've been describing to you in our private talks about it, is most RPGs of this ilk are a little boring in the beginning. Most RPGs in general are kind of boring in the beginning. Like, probably the first, 10 or so hours are just kind of, they're really slow burning you, getting you introduced to the world, getting you introduced to all the different mechanics that you're going to be playing with. Clair Obscur, which I do like, cuts all that out and puts you, you are right into the meat of the experience, which is what I enjoy so much. This game is said to be about 30 hours.
I just looked it up, yeah.
Yeah. If they put in that 10 to 15 hour thing where they slowly introduce you to the world and stuff, it probably would have broken 50 hours in that, and I'm glad that it's not there. I'm really am glad that it's not there, because it allowed the combat to immediately grab me and go, this is why this is fun. And I go, oh, badass. And it immediately allowed me to get interested in the main conflict of the game, which is conceptually one of the coolest things ever. If you don't know, this is a world in which this great paintress, they call her.
Paintress.
Showed up. I guess, I think one day, at least this is what I've been able to determine so far. And it started at and behind the paintress was a number, and it was the number 100. And then every year, the paintress has wiped that number away and written one number lower. So it went 100, 99, 98, yada, yada, yada. The game starts and it's at 34, and it's at the eve of when it dips down to 33, which is why it's Expedition 33. We'll get to that in a second, too. And basically, every year that passes, if you are that age on the clock, you get Thanos Infinity War snapped out of existence. So the game starts from 34 to 33, and everyone who is 33 years old dies and gets like whispered away like you would see in Avengers Infinity War. They put a little bit more like artistic spin on it. There's like rose petals that you kind of like wilt away instead, but it's that same effect, right? And so you are now part of, they send out these expeditions that go out and try and stop the Paintress, and they've all failed. And so you were part of Expedition 33, which is weird. This is another thing where like they didn't establish their world correctly. So like they're counting down with them. So they started at 102. But the first expedition was Expedition 0, and then it went backwards from 99 down. So it was Expedition 0, 98, 98, 99, 98, 97, 96, all the way down to 33, right? Weird that they chose to go that way narratively. It threw me off until like, because your rest points, your save points in this game are expedition flags from previous expeditions. So like you'll like journey along the path and you'll see this flag and it's Expedition 70. This is where 70 made it. Like, and they planted a flag. You can rest. They do the great Dark Souls thing where everybody you've killed comes back, but you also get all your health back and your health potions back and so forth.
To that end, is it like when you go through the world, is it just random numbers? Like it's not like descending order or anything like that when you get to those checkpoints?
No, it jumps around. I'm not gonna like
Good,
it's not like randomly generated, like they're set.
Yeah, right.
But like it's I've seen 40, I've seen 70, I've seen 68. Like you know,
oh yeah, I was worried for a second they were gonna do like, oh, they're all in sequence. I'm like, that's lame. But
that gives you a literal countdown of how deep into the game. No, it's all random stuff. And this is not like where the expedition died. It's just they were here too.
Yeah,
you know. And so back to my like one critique of like the pace of narrative. Also, like Avengers Infinity War, that pace is exactly the same as the movie. Like where it's just like you are in it, we are going, and we are not slowing down. And so it's a little bit of like whiplash that I'm having from this intro, which was beautiful. This game has possibly one of the saddest intros to a video game of all time. Like, not quite on the level of The Last of Us, but in that realm. Like, this is sad. Like, I really was feeling for these characters in the beginning of this game. It was really well effective. But then we immediately jump into conflict, battles. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what the world is really. They just throw you in a little too fast, and they start moving. And they're like, hey, you gotta go. And it's not, like, dense. It's just quick. And it feels like there were some narrative beats that are missing to get us to this point. But if that allows us to have a fully formed, scoped out middle and end of the game, I'm cool with losing some pacing in the beginning, right? Especially because that intro was so good that like I'm in. The acting's fantastic. I thought the lead was Ben Starr, because he was really heavily advertised to be in the game.
Yeah,
the lead is Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I didn't know that till
from
recently.
Daredevil fame, and I'm like, oh shit, and he's killing it. He's doing a great job. And the early characters that I've met so far, I love them. They're so good. Yeah. The character writing in this game is awesome. The battle mechanics, I really can't sing the praises of these battle mechanics enough. It immediately jumps you in, like, you know how in an RPG, most of the time, like, it's real basic mechanics. It's like, all right, this is your attack. All right, here's your magic spell. Magic costs MP. And, like, there's, like, nothing, like, really special about it until you get to that, like, 20, 25-hour mark. And then they start giving you the different, like, effects that your damage and attacks can do. So it's like, oh, this one applies, like, poison damage. This one applies burn. This one applies this, that, and the third. You know, or this is a thing that allows your allies to do double damage on the next move. Expedition 33 does that from the jump. And they are immediately like, hey, here's a bunch of just stats and things that you can apply. And it's not super overwhelming. I do wish that they slowed down and explained the system a little bit better. But like, you just play around with the menus a little bit, you get the gist of it, right? I do wish they'd slowed it down a little bit though. But immediately you're like, okay, Gustav is your main guy. And then your like first person that you recruit is Loon. I forget her name.
Leland? Oh.
We'll call her Luna for now. That's not it. It's something similar to that though. And like immediately they're like, hey, Gustav has this move that he can power her up. And you go, oh, okay, cool. She has this move where she burns guys in every move they lose health on fire damage. Oh, okay, well then now Gustav has this thing where the attack does double damage if the enemy is burning. Oh, okay, that's cool. So I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna do that path and then do that. Oh, and well now Gustav has this move that marks enemies, and marks applies even heavier damage to it. Well, Luna, whatever her name is, also has this move that if an enemy is marked, it does even more damage on top of that. So it's just like this instantly, like you're in this cycle of like, you feel like you're already breaking the game, which feels great because it allows the game to have the freedom to be challenging.
Yeah.
And almost like right out the gate, you're going to start fighting enemies who will kick your ass. And I love it. I think it's fantastic because it's also played into sort of that like Super Mario RPG, most recently Sea of Stars, where it's a little more active in the turn-based combat, where you have things like parrying and dodging in this game. Both feel great, and the timing windows, especially for the parry, are tight. You got to get good at it. You got to study enemy movements and animations and so forth. And enemies have different attacks like that will do. So like there's this thing where like it'll say enemy does a quick attack, and that'll mean something for this enemy type. He'll if he does a quick attack, I know he's going to attack twice, you know. Or enemy does a normal attack, and he'll jump up and he'll kind of charge up his move, and I know, oh, this one's gonna do extra damage, so I need to like make sure that I like get out of the way or dodge this one or whatever like that. And it's just like immediately we are in this multi-layered combat system that shows its teeth right away. I appreciate that so much more as a player than that slow burn that most RPGs do, because for me, replayability is a huge thing, and that slow burn kills me on so many playthroughs. And even my first time through, a lot of the time, because we're slow burning it, I lose interest, and I only play the first 5 hours of an RPG, and then I go, yeah, it's cool, but it just didn't grab me or whatever. This has me by the balls from minute one. I love this game. I haven't played it enough to put it as my game of the year so far, but I know it will be, and I struggle to see what is going to knock it off this pedestal this year.
Maybe Ghost of Yotai. Got an
Maybe, because
announcement.
that game is
Yotai.
sounding great, because they're talking a lot about it lately, and that game is sounding like it's going to be a banger. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited for that. There's a lot of games I'm very, very excited for this year. I don't see how Expedition 33 can be knocked off.
Maybe Doom the Dark Ages. That game.
There's not, as someone who loves the Doom games, not a chance.
Guess we'll find out.
Not a chance.
We'll see. Fighting like a tank is more fun than fighting like a quick person, which is usually what you play as.
We'll cut back to this moment whenever Tavin is like, I was wrong.
Doom Dark Age is so good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this game. I got Oblivion Remastered and Breath of the Wild first, though.
I'm telling you right now, Connor, put Oblivion down. Like, it's worth it.
Oh, I know it is, but I can't.
You probably can. Won't.
Let's
go ahead and just dive into our big discussion topic for today. Let's talk about PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Now, if you don't know, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale was a game released in the PS3 era. I can't remember exactly when it was released, but it was not the most successful.
No, and it tried to rise up to the same level as Smash Bros, obviously, and it just never was able to do that.
2012 is when All-Stars Battle Royale came out. I played this game. I think I still have my copy in my room over there, and it is super okay. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is super okay. They did the thing where like clearly this was trying to be PlayStation's Super Smash Brothers, but they didn't go far enough with it, and they should have copied Smash more. The real detriment to this game is twofold. One is gameplay. They didn't do the like damage percentage, knock your enemy off screen thing like they should have done. Instead, it was you two are just battling each other, and you build up this like charge meter. And there were 3 levels to the charge, so you could do charge it up to level 1, level 2, level 3, and each one allowed you to do this super move. And the super move is what killed opponents and took stock away, right?
Right.
Interesting idea, interesting concept. Mechanically, it was kind of fun to like play around with and see what each individual super move was. And all 3 layers were different for every character. So like usually level 1 would be like this like small attack that you would have to be like right next to the guy. Level 2, you could be a little further away and kill people. Level 3 was not a screen wipe, but would definitely
like your smash ball.
It was a smash ball level thing to like deal with. So an interesting idea, but it just didn't really play out. Also, the game was just very stiff to play. I would compare it most recently to Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl in terms of game feel, where it's like, this is okay. Like,
it works.
This works. There's some fun to be had here, but it's not like, you're not like drawn back to it.
Not like Multiverses was able to do.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I had this thought. I can't remember what spurred it on. I was probably just rewatching Game Showdown or something like that. I was like, man, if PlayStation tried to release a new PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale now, the level of like IP, both expansion and improvement that's happened since 2012, like I think they could put something out that's real special.
So that brings me to the second big problem of All-Star Battle Royale. Is even in 2012, they had the IPs and the characters that could have made a really great roster, and they just didn't do that. So I'm going to read off to you guys the roster of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Are you guys familiar with the entire roster here?
I remember.
I'm familiar
I know
with
most
the majority.
The majority. So I'm going to run it down. So at launch, there were 20 playable characters in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. They added 4 more through DLC. I'm going to give you the original 20 first in alphabetical order. And just remember, you only have 20 characters, which means you should be picking your guys like smartly,
Your
right?
aces.
You should be covering your bases, right?
Putting your aces in places, as they say.
You know how Smash, Mario, Link, Pikachu, Kirby, they had the essentials, right?
You think about that starting 8 roster from Smash 64,
Right. So in alphabetical order, we got Big Daddy.
Yeah.
What the
that
fuck does
usual
Big Daddy
that
have to do with
typical
PlayStation?
PlayStation character.
Next up, again, we're in 2012 PlayStation 3 era, so this one does make a lot of sense, and I still agree to this pick today. Cole McGrath. Awesome. That's a great pick, right?
Infamous
fanboy.
For those that don't know.
Here's
Which is a lot.
our third pick.
For the many people that don't know who Cole McGrath is, he's from
It's
Infamous.
from Infamous. Yeah. And we're going to get to it. Cole McGrath should still be on this roster.
Along
But
with another Infamous character.
here's the problem. Pick number 3, Evil Cole McGrath. They had 2 different characters for Cole. One had blue lightning, one had red lightning. Now their movesets were different, to give them credit, but why do we have 2 Cole McGraths?
Unnecessary.
Had Alex
necessary.
Mercer
From
Prototype.
Yeah, but I think Prototype. I think Xbox. I don't think
yes.
PlayStation.
But he's
I think that way for BioShock also, and we got Big Daddy.
I'm just saying.
Next up was Colonel Raddick from Killzone. That's a big who.
he probably could have just done a Hellgas Soldier, and that would have been enough. Cooler too, I
I
bet.
guess. I mean, that's essentially what this is.
But he doesn't have the helmet on.
He does have a helmet.
No,
He does.
he does
Yeah.
have a helmet
Oh,
on.
he's
Yeah.
fine then. That's good. Yeah, go with that one.
I guess.
Time
In
the time period.
We'll get into it, but I don't think a Killzone character makes the roster that we're making today.
Oh yeah.
Next up, Dante. Not a bad pick, except it's 2012. So they're not using classic white-haired Dante.
Yeah.
They're using that weird
DMC
reboot
Dante.
DMC
Yes.
Dante. Not great. Next is Fat Princess, which was a big thing on the PlayStation Portable at the time. That was a very of its time pick. You wouldn't do that today. Who the fuck is thinking about Fat Princess? Who even knows who Fat Princess is?
It's like DMC's Dante. It was a game that came out at that time, so they were trying to push it.
Next is Heihachi Mishima.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. He's
From
Tekken.
Tekken.
Yes.
Heihachi,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Not mad at that. Jack and Daxter. Makes sense. Not mad at that. Jack
Easy.
and Daxter
Yep.
didn't play well, though. Jack and Daxter played like shit.
You did.
Kratos. Gotta have him.
Yep.
Nariko?
Know that Naruto?
Naruko?
What's
Is
like
it
a
No-
picture?
Pink-haired lady with a
Noriko?
sword?
I would.
Heavenly Sword.
Oh yeah. I don't know her that well.
That's a of the times pick. Heavenly Sword. Next up, Nathan Drake.
Right here.
Makes
Right here.
sense.
Here you
Oh,
go.
you
You
have
have,
that. Okay.
Heavenly Sword. Look at you.
Was it good?
He didn't play it.
I haven't played it.
Parappa the Rapper. Makes sense. Gotta have it. This one was... It's cool, but it's also disappointing at the same time. Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. Specifically, the Rising Revengeance version of him.
Rising Revengeance.
The big cyborg ninja version of him, right? Cool to play. Cool that he's there. This is also another problem in the game, is they clashed all the art styles together.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, characters didn't look like they were from PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. They looked like they were from their own games. So you had characters like Parappa the Rapper, 2D little guy, next to Raiden from Rising Revengeance. And it just didn't look right. Smash does this very well, where they unify an art style and build a character model around that art style. Like, and so it makes sense that they're all together visually. Ratchet and Clank, gotta have him. Sackboy, gotta have him.
I would make the argument against Smash that like the Street Fighter characters don't look like they all the way belong.
I'll give you that a little bit.
Cloud as well.
As well as like Cloud and
I think
Sephiroth.
Cloud works.
Like,
I think all the sword guys look right.
I don't know.
I mean, they look right. They were able to make it look right. It's just they
No,
did tweak them.
does it stick out like terribly? No, but like they look off.
This is my point. In Battle Royale, they stuck out really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was really bad. Next, something that confused me back in the day and confuses me today. Sir Daniel from Medieval. Maybe I just
Legacy
missed...
title, you know.
Maybe I just... Like, was Medieval ever that?
Yeah.
Like, was it though?
Yeah.
On the original
It's pretty
PlayStation?
big, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
My uncle had all the Medieval games.
Okay. Next, Sly Cooper, gotta have him. Spike from Ape Escape, gotta have him.
Yep.
Sweet Tooth
Yeah, from Twisted Metal.
from Twisted
Yeah.
Metal.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, another PlayStation title.
I know, but I don't like. That's weird.
Only PS2. It was only that little bit away.
If we made it now, would Anthony Mackie be in the game?
Jesus Christ. And the next was Toro Inaui, which is like the little cat guy. I don't know what he's from. I just know that he hangs around. When is
Can I
he
see
from?
it?
I think I've seen him before.
Highly recognizable.
Orioma.
He's a Japanese mascot for Sony. Appearance and notice of his announced. I guess he's just like kind of a guy.
He's his own game. He's his own game.
Oh, I've seen that.
Oh,
guy.
the series is.
Doko Demo Isio.
Oh, okay. I don't know if he's making the cut today, but back then it made sense.
No.
And then, so that list already not great. You're missing a lot of key figures, notably Solid Snake, Cloud Strife, anybody from Resident Evil, and like just like a lot of other names that are just not there that should be there. Like, this is just not a very exciting roster.
Give us those 4 DLC characters.
Next, Emmett Graves from Starhawk. Hey, that's an of the time pick if I've ever seen one. Isaac Clarke from Dead Space.
Dead Space? Sure.
I guess that one doesn't really make a lot of sense.
That's
to
another
me.
one where I think Dead Space, I think Xbox, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dead Space 1, maybe you could get away with PlayStation, but Dead Space 2, which is the model they're pulling from, is an Xbox game in my brain. Next is Cat from Gravity Rush. I'm cool with that one. That one makes sense. That's a fun pick. And then finally, Zeus from God of War. I don't know about that one.
No.
Like,
that one's great because of the Isaac Clarke
fun.
thing.
We need more like more characters from the same game. Kind of like how we like in Smash you have Sephiroth and Cloud, you have
Mario,
Ryu
Luigi,
and Ken,
Bowser, Peach.
Mario, Luigi, yeah. We need
You would have
more
liked it if they had
representation.
Solid Snake.
Yeah,
They should have had
like
Solid
have
Snake.
some fun interactions between Raiden and Snake.
Now,
you know?
it's a weird thing because Snake was already, at this time, Super Smash Bros. Brawl is out, and Snake's in that game. So, like, I
Right.
can understand why it'd be a little bit weird. Maybe Konami is like, hey, we would rather you use this character, so use this character. It was a time where, like, it was really hard to get characters from other publishers. Like, it was a really hard thing to do. That's why, like,
Yeah.
Snake in Smash was such a big thing, right? And I think, is he the only non-Nintendo character in Brawl? Sonic.
Sonic,
Terry-
yeah, that was Sega. Yeah, In
Terry
Brawl.
and the Tekken.
Brawl.
Oh, Brawl.
Listen to the words that are coming out of my
Brawl.
mouth.
You know. It's a bigger deal when he came back.
Now we're in a
You like
post
tripping? You like tripping? You like doing that?
It was funny.
Listen, Brawl still holds a very special place in my heart. All right, I love Brawl. I think Brawl has the best art style of all of them. I don't know why. I just like that desaturated look. The denim on Mario looks great. Tripping's annoying.
I'm
Sure.
a big fan. I'm a big fan of in Brawl. Whenever you're selecting your character, you choose them, and then the Wiimote, that like blown out speaker, would make a fun noise.
Forgot that happened. I turned that off.
Yeah.
Just like how I turned the DualSense off now today.
Yeah.
Phil, do me a favor. Move to your left a little bit. There you go. Brawl also has the best opening in music to any Smash Brother ever. It's so good. They should have just kept that.
Also, campaign. Best campaign.
Say Cemetery.
Only one?
Yeah. Not necessarily. The new one had
They had
one.
adventure. They had adventure mode in Melee as well.
The cutscenes are great in Subspace Cemetery. The game itself is not.
Fun.
Anyway, so, gentlemen, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2. I think we can easily make a better roster than what they had here.
Absolutely.
Now, they had 20 characters. I was looking around at the field. I was like, what is a good amount of characters for today?
More than 20.
I think so. I looked it up. Multiverses had 30. All-Star Brawl 2 had 29. I think 30 is a good number.
Yeah.
30's good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 4 right out the gate. Raiden, as he was, like Ninja Raiden.
Okay.
Solid Snake, Virgil, and Dante. I don't care other beyond that.
I don't know if Raiden's making the cut, but let's just put him down and see where we get.
I think
For
culturally,
me,
he definitely is.
I'm gonna say why not. I'm gonna say why not for Raiden. You know,
Okay. What did you say? Virgil
Yeah, Dante.
and Dante.
Virgil and Dante. Yeah.
Also not sure about Virgil, but we'll why not that one for now. All right.
Well, so what we can do is we can also do what Smash doesn't have Echo Fighters.
Virgil would play.
Virgil
very
plays
differently.
different. Very different.
How different?
Painfully different.
Like, an entirely different style of gameplay.
You're talking Virgil, not V, right?
No, Virgil. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know Virgil as well, but does he play anything like V?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not even.
Well, I mean, V just uses his like summons and shit, right?
And walks around and
Yeah, but you control the summons.
Okay.
Like the summons are tied to buttons.
Yep.
All right.
You running it down too, Phil?
Next, we got to go for the big three. We got to go Sly, Jack and Daxter, and Ratchet and Clank. You know.
I agree. 100%. You need those guys.
All right, I got one. A duo character, like the one we just said, Joel and Ellie.
See, I was gonna get to The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
Do we do Joel and Ellie?
I feel
do
like
we
you
do
have to.
Joel and Ellie? Do we do Joel, Ellie, Abby? Do we only do one of these guys?
I think we only do one, and it's Joel and Ellie. They're the duo when you think of The Last of Us more than any of the other ones on their own.
Yeah, I think we could do something fun, like kind of ice climbery there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Also, they all kind of like they're human beings that play with guns and like they punch people.
There's like an
they'd
interesting-
be Echo Fighters if there was more than one.
There's an interesting like game mechanic thing you can do there.
Your side
I
smash
think-
as Ellie runs out and just
Yeah,
chucks you up.
exactly.
With the switchblade, yeah.
You and Ellie would actually play differently, but Abby and Joel would play.
That's
the same.
my thing. Is like I think Ellie would be an interesting switch up from Joel mechanically if Ellie was her own character.
That's true. That is true, but
I would
They just
I
don't
would
pair
just write
together.
Joel/Ellie for that. We got to have I mean nowadays we got to also have Nathan Drake, of course. Kratos.
Gotta have Drake.
Do we do Kratos and Atreus?
This was a question I have. What version of Kratos do you do? And
The new one.
do you do all of them? I think you do both.
No, because I think what you do here is I understand that in Smash you have like 3 different versions of Link, right? You have regular Link, who's in like the Breath of the Wild style. You have young Link, and then you have Toon Link, right? I don't know if we need to go that far. I think we do kind of like, you know, every iteration of Smash, they use for regular Link, they use the most current version of Link, right? So like now with Ultimate, they went to Breath of the Wild Link. That's why I think with this version of PlayStation All Stars, we do God of War 2018 / Ragnarok Kratos, and then maybe if we're hurting for extra character slots, we do a classic Kratos.
Yeah,
Like,
I think you
for like
do.
a Young Link / Toon Link thing.
Because you got to have the blades and the axe, right? I think you do classic Kratos with the blades, current Kratos with the axe, and I think current Kratos can double as a duo character, Kratos and Atreus.
I don't think so, because I think you do just like how you do in 2018 and Ragnarok. You can just incorporate his weapons into his moves. Like certain moves use the axe, certain moves use the blades, certain moves use the spear, right? Like
yes, but I don't think the spear is on the level of the axe and the blades.
But it's ranged capabilities more so than like
you can counter that by making him a duo character with Atreus. And I think Atreus is iconic enough to need representation in this game, but he's not to the point to where he needs to be his own character yet.
I don't know about that necessarily. Well, Kratos real quick. I think Byleth
there's no way you give Atreus his own character and you don't give Ellie her own character.
But Atreus can turn into like animals. Ellie is just another human being that's in a post-apocalyptic world. Whereas Atreus has his arrows, his base magic, and then turning into Kratos.
I don't think Atreus gets his own slot. I just don't think Atreus gets his own slot. I'm more on board with Ellie getting her own slot than Atreus getting his own slot.
I would agree.
I think Ellie needs her own slot person.
I just think like
I like the dual companion idea, but I think that fits Kratos and Atreus better.
But I feel like Kratos is able to do a moveset on its own where Joel and Ellie both would be kind of bland characters.
But I just think Kratos is so diverse in move sets that you got to split him up somehow. And I think you do classic Kratos and new Kratos, and I don't think the spear is involved.
In that case,
I disagree.
Well, let's put it this way, right? I don't know about evil Kratos yet. Base
Evil
Kratos?
Evil Kratos.
Yeah, I mean, how are we going to differentiate?
Old classic Kratos. Old Kratos.
Kratos. Okay, fine. Old Kratos. Well, new Kratos, right?
Right.
It's heavily tied up with Atreus. The spear, I was saying, is ranged, but clearly Atreus has that also locked down. Dual characters, and then potentially have old Kratos be his own thing.
That's what I just said.
But you would have, so
I said
that classic.
Is what he
said.
You want classic Kratos with the blades. That's a character. And then another character is new Kratos with Atreus, and he has the axe.
See, that's where I'm differentiating, where I don't think we should have old like Kratos if we're doing, Kratos and Atreus.
But like God of War, like meant something so like I understand it's hard to like look at God of War any differently than where it is today, but like that really meant something for a decade. It meant something.
That's true.
Like and Kratos was like one of the most important PlayStation characters before 2018.
I just don't see why you can't also have the Blades of Chaos and the axe plus Atreus doing his thing.
And the spear, yeah.
I mean, even just like without the spear.
I mean, you brought up Byleth, but I think Byleth sucks to play. You disagree, but I think it's annoying having all those different weapons and so forth. I would have rather they made a choice.
But that kind of takes away with what like a huge part of Fire Emblem Three Houses is, and that's like you use all these different fun like relics, right? Like it's I don't know. I think that's
part
kind
of me
of,
also
I think
believe they
shouldn't
have gone Byleth. They should have done the 3 house leaders, but that's me.
And
sure.
That's fair. I think we're kind of like Kratos and Atreus.
I mean, I think yes, but like incorporate both of them in as a duo character, like there's not enough inputs to incorporate all of the weapons. So you got to start making some choices. And have Atreus mean something as well. Like that there's too much going on.
Yeah.
Like so that's why I'm saying simplify it down. Kratos axe with Atreus, and then you can have some range stuff with Atreus shooting his bow and stuff, and then you still got to do the throwing of the axe, and just the main big hits and the spin move probably, and then Atreus with the blades, which is like a like mid-range character where he's throwing the blades out and doing his spins and his slashes and his slams.
Okay, so I'll relent to that right now. If we get to a point where we're having to cut somebody, we cut old Kratos and be like, okay, that'd be a DLC later.
I mean, like, it depends on who we're cutting. I'm cutting Raiden and Virgil before I cut old Kratos.
I want different characters. Let's do something different. Let's diversify. Not just two. Like I wouldn't want to screw over other characters being in the game solely just because of Kratos.
But I think
When he's already in the game one way or another.
I think a level of iconicism matters more than some of these other characters that we've already thrown up there.
And then you already have him in there. He's Kratos. Kratos, like, I get he's different, but at the end of the day, they're the same character.
I mean, yes, they are narratively, but they function differently, and they speak to different.
Well,
they speak to different functions of the or different factions of the fan base. And classic Kratos means more than pretty much everybody on this list except for maybe Nathan Drake.
Yeah, but again, we're trying to make a fighting game, not a who we want to put in a video game the most. It's both those things.
Phil's gone ahead and thrown Aloy.
He's going to be in there.
Let's move on and get back to this here. I'm gonna do
classic Kratos. Aloy.
Parappa
the Rappa. Let's put him up there.
Parappa should probably be there.
Sure.
Sweet Tooth.
Let's get back to Sweet.
I know. Yeah, he might be in here, but let's think.
I mean, we're still missing some big guys.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Jin Sakai. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to be in here. Cloud.
Yep.
Tifa,
Sephiroth, Barrett, Yuffie, Vincent.
No, we don't.
Sid.
We don't need to go that far into Final Fantasy
Why not?
VII.
Cloud is fine. Cloud is fine.
Well, Sephiroth will be a DLC character.
Who's the Final Fantasy X guy?
Titus.
Titus. Yeah.
Titus over.
Or
any
is
of
it
the
Titus
other
or Titus?
I might actually have been wrong about that. I won't say Titus.
I think it's Titus.
It might be, yeah.
But let's hold on him before let's get some more classics in here. What do we got?
Yeah.
I think Resident Evil needs to be represented.
Oh, of course.
Leon, Chris.
No, we need a woman.
Yeah. I mean,
Jill.
We have Jill. Yeah.
I think you do all four.
That's just
and they're Echo characters.
Oh yes.
So what? Jill / Claire, Leon / Chris.
I take that.
I think all four are represented as one character.
Okay.
But
Chris would have
here, Connor. I know where you're going, and I'm gonna fix it. They each individually have a special move that's tied to a specific weapon that means something to them. So like Chris has a shotgun.
Chris just punches a boulder.
That's what I want. That's all I care about. You think I care about what you're saying right now? I don't care.
Claire has a grenade launcher. Like functionally, these weapons all do the same thing, but
no, that's a good idea.
But just to add like a little bit of flair to it.
Punching boulder would be his super.
Fucking Jill just like unlocks something and you just die. I don't know.
Railgun.
Huh?
Railgun.
Oh, that's great, Connor. Yeah, the railgun. Yeah. What does Leon have? Magnum?
Yeah. What are the different weapons? What does he get in Resident Evil 2 remake?
He gets a shotgun.
Yeah. But he would have that.
Chris needs the shotgun.
Yeah.
Does
he? Is that like so iconic that he needs
it? I mean, I guess if we're punching a boulder for Chris, Leon can have the fucking shotgun. What does he do in RE4 that's like...
I'm trying to think of that too.
Do you have a crossbow?
Ashley comes in. It could be a joke one,
Leon!
Fucking Ashley coming in is crazy.
Either way, Echo characters,
Yeah. Who else do we got? We're missing somebody here. We go back to this.
Cole McGrath.
Cole McGrath gotta be in there. Gotta be in there. He is not split into two different characters.
No.
But you could do a cool like
color
duo thing where like you press like down and square and you switch to evil mode, and now evil mode has different powers or whatever.
Yeah. You could do Spider-Man.
Crash Bandicoot, Phil, that's a great pick.
Oh yeah,
can't believe we missed him. Spyro, yep, gotta have Spyro.
You have to call him Spyro the Dragon though.
Sora. Sora's got to be in here. We're getting tricky with some of these publishers.
Mm-hmm.
We're asking for a lot of permissions here. Astrobot.
Oh, yeah,
big Astrobot. Do we do Sackboy too, or
Sackboy? Sackboy's got to be there.
They'll be friends.
I mean, I think that's the marketing. Is those two?
Yeah,
going like those are your big two.
Head button.
Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man's weird because like PlayStation lineage, like with the old like Spider-Man movies and even the old Spider-Man game, like Neversoft Spider-Man games, is there, and of course, you know what's happening with Insomniac now, but like it's weird,
Mhm.
right? Like it's like it feels disingenuous because he's not a video game character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm trying to think beyond this now.
I put Peter
I
and
do
Miles
think
in there.
what?
I put Peter and Miles in there
Oh,
for Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's just like an echo / like skin thing.
I can't remember his name. The guy from Medieval. I know you were like
Sir
rolling your eyes
Daniel.
at that, but
Sir Daniel.
Sir Daniel. Yeah, he is iconic as far as like the base
I'll accept
PlayStation roster. No, we did Solid Snake.
All right, I
The
think-
Okami, the dog from Okami, was that a PlayStation thing, or was that no? That was on GameCube too, wasn't it? Amaterasu.
Animusha?
Oh well,
I like Amaterasu.
I don't know if that's a Sony thing though.
Amaterasu's Okami. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Because I know it was popular on the PlayStation too. Oh, it's Capcom. It was on the Wii. On the platforms.
Spike from Ape Escape should be here.
Okay, yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's also do Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Bloodborne Hunter. If we're doing that,
Bloodborne Hunter. I
Yeah,
did think about that earlier. Yeah. Any like Dark Souls, Demon Souls Knight?
it's
What do you even
I
call
think
him?
no, because that's so multi-platform.
I think
Demon's Souls,
I think
sorry.
our FromSoft entry is Bloodborne.
I think so as well. I get Demon Souls could work, but there's nothing iconic to where people would go. I want
It's just
him
a
in
knight.
there.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter's good. Yeah, Monster.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That guy plays like Byleth.
Literally, we're stupid. Wait, no, that's not. That's more Capcom. I don't know. I'm thinking that. I was
Ooh,
thinking
we gotta have. I was gonna say we gotta put Heihachi in here.
Yeah, Heihachi Mishima.
Tekken needs representation, of course.
Honestly, you probably have Kazuya too, but maybe more than Heihachi. Well, no, Kazuya or Heihachi, they'd be different.
Let me look at what we have so far. So we got Raiden. It's so crazy that Raiden's at the top.
Yeah.
Raiden, Solid Snake, Virgil, Dante, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Joel and Ellie, Nathan Drake, Kratos Atreus, Classic Kratos, Aloy, Parappa the Rapper, Jin Sakai, Cloud Strife, Resident Evil characters, Cole McGrath, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Sora, Phil put / Roxas. I'm fine with that. Whatever. Why not?
Yeah, I'll take that, definitely.
Astrobot, Sackboy, Spider-Man. I'm gonna put a question mark next to.
That'd be the first one I'd cut.
Spider-Man's probably the first one I'd cut.
Look at number
Raiden?
30 there, Tavin.
Sam from Death Stranding.
Porter Bridges needs to be in this game. Thank you, Phil.
Deacon St. John. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would,
Yeah. But
I'm
like,
from what Days Gone, right?
Days
Yep.
Gone.
I'd do Cat before that.
Oh, Cat's got to be here.
But I want her to be here, but I don't know if that's a lock in, unfortunately.
Cat is like good. Now I'm gonna put Cat down.
I'll take it.
We'll get back. I do think we should write Deacon St. John down.
What's Cat? I'm sorry.
Cat
Gravity
is Gravity
Rush.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
She's more recognizable than the game itself, which I think
Hear me out
justifies her being put in
here.
there.
It's not. I know it's not necessarily like we don't think PlayStation, but what
like,
do we
think
think
how she
about
would
a
play.
Commander Shepard?
no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think Shepard would ever belong in any of these type games
Yeah.
for a platform. Just because, I mean, like unless EA did something, which EA I think does have the catalog in order to do something like that, but I wouldn't.
Is that it?
We got to be missing somebody, man.
I just looked it up. I didn't really see anything poked out.
I'm just gonna go Sora. I'm not gonna put Roxas in there.
I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna type in iconic PlayStation characters. Comes up. Not seeing anything that we haven't said already. Off of Abe. Who the fuck? Oh, from the
from Oddworld.
Oddworld. Yeah.
He doesn't really fight though.
This list mentions Lara Croft.
But that's not
Lara.
that's not a PlayStation thing.
Classic Lara is.
Yeah, that's true.
I
think
think
it'd
they
be
have the
also
rights to her
interesting-
anymore at this point.
No.
It'd be
but
interesting. It'd be interesting to see her and Nathan Drake together.
Right. Especially classic Lara because she'll play differently than Nathan.
Yeah, a lot more jumpy.
I'm just trying to find because I know there's like some third party / like just random shit Like
we
random
can go
PlayStation
Celine from
shit.
Returnal.
Celine. I like Celine. Should we do Big Boss?
No. Solid Snake is just like Solid Snake Big Boss.
Big Boss. I've always said they should just do a Big Boss skin for Snake.
Yeah, okay. I'll put slash Big Boss here.
Kiryu.
Oh, fucking yeah.
Yes.
Gotta have Kiryu.
You might have to have Mishima.
I'm thinking about it as well.
Majima.
Majima, I think also arguably deserves a spot. Oh my God, Alucard. Castlevania.
Yeah, I know. But I just like, I always forget that's PlayStation.
You got to. Joker. Persona 5.
You got Persona games. Fuck. You could always have them just to be the same. No, you can't really. Joker's the popular one.
Can I say I think Revolver Ocelot should be in this for riding.
No way.
Pyramid Head?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pyramid Head would be a more interesting pick than what's his name? Fucking
Deacon St. John?
No, fucking
Ethan Winters.
The guy you play in fucking
James Sunderland.
Sunderland, yeah.
James Sunderland.
Yeah, Pyramid Head would be more interesting pick.
Of course
than,
he would
than
be.
James. The Wanderer from Shadow of Colossus.
Ooh.
Okay, I like it.
I think
it's his name Wander.
Yeah, Wander.
Wander.
Yeah. There's some funny picks in this list that I'm looking at. They have Tony Hawk in this list. Phil, Rivet?
No,
I don't think she's there.
maybe as like another skin for
Yeah,
Rivet and Kit
yeah.
for Ratchet and Clank, right? Like,
God, there's a lot of big play characters. Wow, we missed a lot. Pepsi Man, let's go.
Pepsi Man.
if I can start trimming some stuff down, I don't think we need classic Kratos.
I don't think classic Kratos leaves this list before Raiden or Virgil. Or Spider-Man.
So you can see right now we have 38 entries on this list.
Yeah, that's fine. We're going to be cutting a lot of motherfuckers. But I don't think... I stand on it. Classic Kratos belongs before a lot of these names.
All right, so let's cut Spider-Man. Cutting Spider-Man right now.
I'm going to be honest, guys. Cut the fuck out of Deacon St. John.
Yeah, we can cut...
Like,
Yeah, no shit. I don't know why y'all even added him.
Listen, we just threw him in there just to have him in there. Sometimes we just got to mention the name.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
sometimes you just got to mention a name.
I think we take...
I saw Colt from Deathloop. I just wanted to give him a shout out.
I say we take out Amaterasu. Yeah, it's on like a number of
I
consoles.
agree.
Xbox, Wii.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also because I don't know who that is.
It's from
the Wolf
Okami.
From Okami.
It's the Wolf from Okami?
Yeah.
Would be a cool pick.
Would be.
Would be a cool pick. But yeah, we don't need it. I would probably cut Pyramid Head here. Do we need both Yakuza guys, or can they be an Echo?
No, they're played too differently.
They're played very differently.
Okay, I'll come back to that. Pyramid Head can go. I think you need Joker. Are we tied to the Monster Hunter?
I love the Monster Hunter being a pick.
I kind of do also.
Functionally,
God,
it'd be really cool.
I wish we didn't need Aloy and Jin. You know, like, God, I wish they didn't need to be here. Wander needs to stay. Well, maybe Wander doesn't need to stay, because what is his moveset?
He hits with a sword. Take
He hit like a fucking lame, though, you know? I don't know. Hold on. There's other names that need to go before him. Let's see here. Well, we gotta cut Raiden.
You don't know what
We
you're
gotta cut
talking
Raiden.
about.
We gotta
Like
cut
literal, a famous, like
Raiden's gotta
iconic
go.
character. He's iconic now.
He's iconic, yes, but not for PlayStation. Rising Revengeance came out on everything. Metal Gear Solid 2, if we're being honest, came out on Xbox at launch also.
But he's right.
Listen, he's a great Metal Gear Solid character, one of the most iconic characters of all time. But he's just gotta go in this list. And I'm also about to make that same argument for Virgil.
Well, but going back to Raiden, he's Cyborg in 4.
There's Connor.
Everyone knows that.
I'm getting ready to cut Virgil and classic Kratos.
I don't understand how you cut classic Kratos over Lara Croft Cat, Sam Porter Bridges. No, Hiachi's got to be there.
But yeah,
Sir
wait,
Daniel
wait.
goes before Classic Kratos.
Sam
No.
Porter goes before.
I just
Sir
said
Daniel.
Sam Porter goes before Classic Kratos. Like,
No,
No,
Sir
because
Daniel.
we gotta think about like they're not gonna do a classic Kratos because they want to stick with like they want to unify like what people's perception of their characters are, right? So we're not gonna have multiple different versions of this thing, right? Like I don't know.
But like Kratos makes
I don't
sense
see
to
them
do
doing
it.
that.
It makes sense. It's just like, again, as Phil's saying, from the get-go,
So here's
when they're trying to do
here's
that.
the problem. Just think conceptually how
Yeah.
a character plays, right? If you do Kratos, leaving Atreus out feels weird, right? So you should have a duo character of Kratos and Atreus, right? Atreus doesn't deserve his own spot, especially if Ellie's not getting her own spot. Atreus definitely doesn't deserve his own spot, right?
I think
you've got Axe version of Kratos with Atreus moves. How many more inputs can you shove in? You can't do Kratos and not do Blades. All right. So
Here's my thing.
If you incorporate Blades and Axe into Kratos' characters, how does the inputs work to get Atreus in there as well? And
Here's my thing.
if you do
So-
Axe and Blades, why not the spear? You don't have
If
enough
we do-
inputs for all of these things.
Let me do this. You know how? So let's assume they're doing like the same like charging up for these different like kill moves, right, or whatever. One of them is like maybe you don't
just
have
said-
Atreus there from the start. Maybe Atreus jumps in, shoots someone with an arrow, and then you like combo with him for a kill, right? Maybe that's like the second level, and then number two. The third level is you charge up, and then Atreus comes in as a bear, and you do something like in rage
I'm
mode.
cool
and kill
with that
him. I don't
being
know.
a mode in the game, but it should play like Smash.
in my line of thinking, though,
I literally said that was the biggest problem it had is it didn't play like Smash.
but in that same line of thinking, Kratos maybe just on his own with a full move set of everything that he's come to be, because he's a culmination of the old Kratos you're talking about to the new one.
Yeah.
If you do old Kratos, you gotta have Atreus.
If you do what?
If you do old Kratos,
Oh yeah.
or new, or
Like
I'm sorry,
old man-
if you do,
old
if
man
you do-
Kratos.
If you do current Kratos, you have to have Atreus in there.
I don't think you have to. I think we would.
Because
want-
that's-
it sounds
that's
good.
how you play the game!
Look at the end of God of War Ragnarok. You don't have Atreus there anymore.
But that's how you play, right? Yes, but you have a duo
Spoilers.
character, right? There's still another character. You press the square button and they do something for you.
Why not 35 characters?
I was gonna bring up. Well, we're at 33 right now, right? Yeah, we're at 33 right now. But like, I think there's other names you cut. I think you cut Cat. Like, shout out to Gravity Rush. Cat's like,
Yeah.
what did Gravity Rush 2 do? Nothing.
Be good.
It was good, but it didn't do
saying is I
anything.
haven't
Like,
played
I
it.
think Cat goes before Classic Kratos. I think Sir Daniel goes before Classic Kratos. I think Sam Porter Bridges goes before. I think Lara Croft we should start looking at before Classic Kratos.
Just because PlayStation iconic characters, she's gone away from that.
Yeah, I mean classic Lara Croft. Like I think got like I mean she's an astrobot, right?
Yeah,
So like you
yeah,
know
yeah,
like you
that's
got
true.
to right, but like at the same time you don't got to. God, there were so many just sword characters with a mask in that game in Astrobot. Like who the fuck were some of these?
Ooh, fucking 2B, bro.
Not PlayStation Solo enough, because it was on Xbox 360 as well. It's not like
What?
Platinum Games isn't a PlayStation company. Yeah,
It was on Xbox?
PC too.
It was definitely on PC.
I don't think it was on Xbox, but I know it was on PC.
Yeah, Xbox One. Yep. The following year.
It came out later. Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Oh. All right. I didn't know Nier was like that. I thought it was just PlayStation.
Curious.
I understand in the game they play wildly. They play differently. I don't think they play differently enough to justify having Kiryu and Majima's.
Yeah, and that's because I'm going to defend Virgil and Dante. They play them massively different. Whereas just like
You still have
Kiryu,
Virgil? I
What?
thought we got rid of Virgil.
Virgil's,
All right,
Virgil's.
I'm cutting
Storm.
Virgil and I'm cutting Goro.
You guys literally aren't even in the fucking storm. You die so quickly.
I think Majima can be just an Echo character.
No, he'd be his own character.
He
can't
would
put
have
him
to
with
be his own
Kiryu.
character.
I think they played closely enough. Like
The-
what? Like
He'd
Not in the
have to
same
be
way
his
like
own
Resident
character.
Evil characters control and play.
no, yeah. Those are definitely more similar. But I don't know. Just combine like two fighting styles from Kiryu, two fighting styles from Majima. You know, play a little loose with the rules. But like
Right,
the fact that you would have fighting styles.
we now
at
have
all-
30 characters.
Look again.
Look again.
Sam's still on there. I take him off for Virgil.
No,
Wait,
Sam's
what does he do?
more-
What does he do?
Sam
Throw
right,
shit at
Sam
people?
right now is more important than Virgil.
Wait, what?
Sam right now, in terms of PlayStation Legacy, is more important than Virgil.
Important's a strong word. More like he's in a game that's coming out right now.
In the
Rather
current in the
than not-
zeitgeist of PlayStation.
More people look at Virgil and say, "Oh, that's Virgil from Dante from Devil May Cry," than that's Sam Porter Bridges from Death Stranding.
Let me counter this.
No,
Let me counter this.
they say
You
Norman
show
Reedus.
Right, too, that
They
too.
also say Norman Reedus. That's also a thing to get his likeness in there. If you show people Sam Porter Bridges, they'll be like, "Yeah, it's the Death Strand." They'll be like, "Oh, it's Norman Reedus," but they'll be like, "Yeah, it's the Death Stranding guy." They may not know his name, but they'll know he's from Death Stranding, right? Virgil, I would put a question mark on. Does
You show a guy in
general
blue with
gaming
white hair.
populace- Does general people who know Devil May Cry, of course, know Virgil?
Well, Virgil's now moved on to my like gaming culture. Like he's in the same way Raiden has. Like
I don't think they are, dude. Like I don't think either of those characters are as popular as you think they are.
either with Sam. I don't think people are going to be as recognizable as like
Sam
that
is,
guy.
Sam is the Death Stranding guy.
But I don't think everyone's going to be like, that's the Death Stranding guy. I don't think it has that much of notoriety and cultural significance as Virgil does.
I don't even know what Virgil looks like.
Don't?
No,
You played him in a game. Sounds like
He's
a you
got
problem.
white
you didn't.
slick back
He's not
hair,
playable
that's about
in DMC 5.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Now he
after
is.
the game?
Mhm.
Oh,
No, now
okay.
he is now. In the current version of the game, they added him.
Okay, great. That's a post thing. You know.
Oh, posting? So I guess...
He's a dude in a black cloak, right?
No.
He's got short hair.
no. Well, yeah, he does have shorter hair. Well, not
He
even
doesn't
short,
have a
no.
cloak.
No, he has like a
It's
trench coat.
blue, right? It's not.
Yeah,
It's not
you only
black.
see that's like they only had him in that outfit because it was like you're not supposed to know who he is.
I'm
And
not
then
talking V. I'm talking
Virgil, yeah.
I'm talking Virgil. Yeah,
Yeah.
at the end because
He's in a black cloak in the
Spoilers,
beginning.
You fight him at the end.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But he's still got he's got like a cloak, trench coat. He's got a long flowy coat thing, right?
Yeah,
And it's dark
Coat.
colored.
more. It's actually not that dark.
Is it
It's
pretty blue?
It's not like bright blue. It's like neutral blue.
Okay.
Well, no,
Like,
more dark.
but if I said, "Hey, what does the guy from Death Stranding look like?" They'd be like, "It's Norman Reedus in a blue jumpsuit."
Some
I think they-
armor type looking.
would they say
stuff
blue
with, like,
jumpsuit Tavin?
A little clear capsule holding a baby on the front of him. You know.
Oh God, the
Mhm.
baby! Fucking put BB in this before doing Virgil.
Well,
BB?
yeah, you would have a thing like with a little claw, and you could like use it like the Star Fox deflect.
It's
You could deflect
parry.
the projectiles and
Oh
stuff.
my God, it'd be a parry, dude. Have a little
Gotta
BB
play around
parry.
with it.
Oh, it'd be so cool. I like this list.
I think this is our list.
I like this list.
My last ditch effort to get Virgil in here over Wander.
Virgil would play
No.
better, yeah,
He'd play
but like
better.
I mean,
And
Shadow of the Colossus,
Not as
I mean,
iconic as Virgil.
Shadow of the Colossus.
No, it is. Shadow of the Colossus is, not Wander.
right, but sometimes the game is more important than the characters.
That is.
Yeah.
But
That's
that's why
why-
we're making a game based off
That's
the
why,
game.
Fire Emblem characters started getting in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Marth is not iconic, but Fire Emblem is
Yeah, right. I mean, he was made iconic because of...
because of that thing later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to have Dante. You have to.
Yeah.
I think that I think the representation from titles matters more than having more characters from a bunch of
You know what?
from specific titles.
Neutral point. We break off the chains of being corporate shills and take Aloy out of there. Resist
I
No.
wish, but Aloy's got to be there.
resist corporate
How many bow
marketing.
and arrow characters do we have? Fucking not that many.
Wait, what?
I asked how many bow and arrow characters we have. We have Aloy, Monster
Lara Croft
Hunter.
and Aloy and Ellie.
Character-wise, gameplay-wise, she would be very good. I'm finding that because she's an industry plant. As I have...
I mean, Jin also can use a bow and arrow, but like
not
still.
the same.
There's a bow and arrow in that. Oh, there is
Yeah.
bow and arrows in that game. Legends is great. We should play Legends.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Let's
But we
stop.
can
doing
play-
what
three of
we're
us
doing
hopping
right
into
now and just
Legends?
Play Legends.
It's 3-player.
See, I would take that, and I would raise you that we should go back to Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's probably...
I've been
yeah.
thinking about that a lot. Like, I really am good. I think I'm just generally just not going to play that many games this year because I kind of just don't want to. There's key titles I got to touch. Like I got to touch Metal Gear, Death Stranding, Doom.
Mhm.
From there, I'm like, I don't know.
You don't know what's coming out.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I do want to go play. I will play Ghost. I do want to play Blueprints.
Blueprints.
I think
Yeah, it's an indie game. That's all the rage right now.
Mixtape. The
I think
summer
as
one?
long as
If it
as
comes
long as we
out-
have our like 10, if we only have 10 games that make a top 10 list, that's fine. But like if we don't have
I've
to think
done
about
that,
it that hard, as long as we
Death
have 10
Stranding 1
games,
is
I
in
think
my
it's
honorable
fine.
mentions. No, it won't be.
My
in
honorable mentions-
mentions.
My honorable mentions right now is Last of Us Part 2, Marvel Rivals, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy: The Duelist.
Are you still playing part 2, or did you?
Yeah,
like,
I'll
just-
still play it.
Oh,
I just
okay,
haven't,
okay,
dude.
you are
I
gonna
just haven't
continue
had
the
time.
content. You are going to continue.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
content. Okay, great.
Absolutely. I plan on only playing that game while I'm streaming.
You got to start streaming then, Phil.
When he has the time.
I need to finish Breath of the Wild, Tavin.
That too.
Yeah. Let's have an honest conversation. Put the pretense of how I feel about the game aside. All right, we've got a week until Game Club. Right. By the time you're hearing this on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, it's in like 3 days. You don't have to roll the. I mean, ideally, yes, we would roll the credits because you'd be there. That's so close. You think like probably two beasts, probably good enough.
You need to beat Ganon.
That's the thing I'm doing, right? Because I have as I was talking with Tavin last night, I still have my old save profile.
I want to go beat Ganon.
Yeah,
I want to.
That's
for
why
sure.
I'm gonna fight him in my other game where I have
Okay.
like a bunch of health already, so I don't have to go like grind just to get health, just to get the Master Sword to beat Ganon. Like I'm gonna do the Divine Beasts. I'm gonna beat all of them and travel in between all
I think-
that. But
I think that's okay. As long as you defeat
By the time
the
you
4
get
beasts.
the beasts, you're going to be pretty close to where you were in the original
No.
file, if not already there.
not even close.
No.
I spent
No.
so much time in that old game. My hearts are. I almost did all the shrines in the game. I've done a lot.
I mean, do you need to do that to beat Ganon? No.
No, but
If Connor is that bad at the game, you know.
Hey, shut up.
Hey.
I
But
didn't
anyway,
get
let's,
I didn't get my first beast, by the way, because they send you to an area to go fight a thing, and that I didn't have enough health or good enough armor to fight it, so I've been out grinding ever since.
I killed it.
I could probably go kill it
Anyway,
now.
Let's
Dodge.
let's run through our final list for the PlayStation
Yeah.
All Stars Battle Royale 2 fan cast.
So if okay, oh, you were doing it. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah. Here's the list. Here we go. We got Solid Snake / Big Boss, Dante from Devil May Cry, Sly Cooper, Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Joel / Ellie from The Last of Us, Nathan Drake from Uncharted, Kratos / Atreus from God of War, classic Kratos from the original God of War trilogy, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn / Forbidden West, Parappa the Rapper, Jin Sakai from fucking Ghost of Tsushima, Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, Leon, Chris, Claire, and Jill from the Resident Evil franchise, Cole McGrath. What are you doing? Kratos / Atreus. Kratos.
Yeah,
Atreus.
I'm using slashes as like echo like type characters or like just alternate versions of the
Got
same
it.
character moves, whereas like
Got it.
and is a duo.
Got it. Okay, makes more sense. Cole McGrath from Infamous, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Astrobot, Sackboy, Sir Daniel from Medieval, Spike from Ape Escape, Monster Hunter, Bloodborne Hunter, Heihachi from Tekken, Sam Porter Bridges from Death Stranding, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza, Joker from Persona 5, and Wander from Shadow of the Colossus.
I mean, already this
And there
is
we have it.
like even
Yeah.
if you cut 10 characters from this list, this is such a better list than fucking.
That's not a hard
thing. that list sucked. Fucking, why were there 2 Cole McGraths? As a diehard Infamous fan, that was a terrible choice.
And like not only that, but like we just I feel like we cut so much of the fat that like was not even pun intended for like Fat Princess being
Fat
there, you know, but like
Princess, yeah.
like just there's so many characters that just were there for no reason, like fucking
Daddy.
Big Daddy from BioShock, fucking Fat Princess.
We didn't touch the kill zone.
No Killzone.
I don't
yeah.
think you need to.
Yeah.
What's the other Insomniac fucking
Resistance,
shooter?
which
Resistance.
they didn't
like,
touch on it in the original for a reason.
But yeah, that's our list for our fan character list there for if they ever make a PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale 2. which maybe wake up Sony and do it.
We really quickly, I know we're running long and we're already at the end of the segment. Do we want to see what this list looks like without third party or with the rights to characters that only Sony has?
So what? That's taking out Cloud, taking out.
That would be taking out Snake, Big Boss, Dante, Cloud, the Resident Evil guys, Sora,
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro.
Crash and Spyro. Ugh, that hurts this list bad.
Bare bones,
Hunter, classic Lara Croft, EDU.
Yep. Joker. And yeah.
I had to think about the Joker one. Fuck. But yeah, that's an Atlas character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that cuts the list down in half.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, let us know in the comments.
That's the benefit Nintendo has for being insulated for the first 20 years of their career.
Right, just not having anything from the outside. Let us know in the comments what your favorite PlayStation character, who would you want in this game? Let us know where we went wrong. And, just leave a comment, give us a subscription, give us a like on the video if you liked it. Follow us on social media. It's all in the description. Make sure to catch us next week. But for now, let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.